Are you able to see this slide from CQI and IRCA?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So welcome again to the course. My name is Ribu Lavania. This course is authorized by IRCA, International Registrar for Certificated Auditors. International Registrar for Certificated Auditors. This course comes to you from an organization called BSCIC Certifications Private Limited, who are the partners of IRCA to conduct this ISMS and some other lead auditor courses. My name is Ribu Lavania, and I'm not an employee of BSCIC. I am an authorized trainer to conduct IRCA and the PECB authorized courses. So that's what is the relationship. The official name of the course is ISO 27001-2022 Auditor and Lead Auditor Training Program. Course, standard against which you are to be trained. The name of the standard is ISO 27001-2022. That means it was released in 2022. The last release was in 2022. And name of the standard is cursor, info security, cyber security and privacy protection. ISMS. Earlier the name was ISMS, Info Security Management System -requirements. Now cyber security and privacy protection have been added to the name of the standard. Okay, there are significances for this. Although the names, the cyber security and privacy protection, these terms have been added into the standard, there is no change in the requirements of the clauses. All the changes were incorporated in the controls, 93 controls, which are available in the standard itself as its Annex A, Annexure A. Now there is some significance of this word, dash requirements. What you see at the bottom, see my cursor. ISMS dash requirements. Now this I'll let you know what is the significance of this word dash requirements, maybe probably today itself. The website of IRCA is www.quality.org. Okay. In case there are two kinds of evaluation for this course. On a daily basis, I'm supposed to complete a form given by IRCA and upload it on their portal. Once I upload, I can't change entries made in it. That's called continuous evaluation, continuous daily evaluation. And other evaluation is online training, examination, AI based, artificial intelligence based examination. So these are the two kinds of evaluations you have. Okay, I'll tell you in details after a few, maybe after an hour or so. Okay, the course comes to you from an authorized organization called BSCIC Certification Private Limited. They are headquartered in Faridabad, India, and they have their locations in Dubai, UK, and head office here in Faridabad. I've told you about IRCA. Now and CQI. Let me tell you about the relationship about the CQI and IRCA and the little introduction of IRCA. IRCA is more than 100 years old organization, more than 100 years old. They took birth in the year 1919, okay, after the First World War, and their first assignment was to inspect the war machinery and declare whether it is fit for further wars or it has to be discarded. So that was their first assignment. Later in 1969, they were assigned by the UK government to make standards, to draft standards in three major categories: military standards, process standards like ISO 9001, ISO 27001, and product standards. Like in India, you have ISI standards for various products. Europeans have CE standard for various products, so on and so forth. So product, process, and product and process standards and military standards. Legacy says, world over, countries are following the British standards, whether they are process or product or military standards, they were following the British standards. So bird community as late as 1969, 70, 71, they started thinking, why should we follow only British standards? The condition in various countries are different, so they should have their own standards. Okay. And after a few years of discussions, they decided to start a universal organization called ISO. ISO is not an international standards organization. It is not. ISO is International Organization for Standardization. I repeat, International Organization for Standardization. Although it is acronymed as ISO. Okay, ISO actually is a Latin term which means something like ice cubes. So there is no direct relationship between the acronym ISO and the name of the organization, which is International Organization for Standardization. They worked for a few years. That time they had around 90 member countries. They worked for a few years, could not decide a process standard because there was no background available. The ISO is headquartered in Geneva. Then with the permission of British government, they adopted British Standard 5750 and named it ISO 9000. It had three variants, 9000-1, 9000-2, and 9000-3. 9000-1 standard was made for made for the process of manufacturing automation. The first standard came in 1987. Till then, nobody thought of software or services. Industry meant more or less in the minds of people as manufacturing. So all the three standards were made for manufacturing industry. The first variant of ISO 9000 was ISO 9000-1, which was meant for design, manufacturing, and post-delivery services of products, not of services. Nobody thought of services. Second variant was assuming that design comes from a collaborator or from the customer, and company doesn't have to design. So second standard was for only manufacturing and after-sales services of products, not including design. This was the first standard in 1987. And the third one was for test houses. The companies which are providing testing services. You make your product and I test it. So I will use ISO 9000-3. That's how they started. Second revision of 9000 series of standards came in 1994. That time they merged all the three standards into one, and it was called 9001. There was no 9001, 9000-1, -2, and -3. It was jointly called as 9001. And by third revision came in 2000, and that time it was heavily oriented towards service industry, because by the year 2000, the revenues out of the industries were more from service industry than the manufacturing industry. So the ISO, even now it is tuning itself to change according to the industry needs. So the change is only the only constant. They kept changing the standards also. Third release of ISO 9001 was for hardware as well as software industry or service industry, you can say. Okay. All this while, there was no standard for information security. That's our subject matter today onwards for next 9 days. Yes, the British standards, they had a standard called ISO 7799. I worked on that standard. That came in 1995. Then the second release came after 2 years. That was a very big standard, around 160 pages, and that was called ISO 17799. Drawing ideas from 17799 in 2005, ISO released their first international standard for information security, ISO 27001:2005. Second one came in 2013, 27001:2013 standard. And the third one came, which is the current standard, in the year 2022, ISO 27001:2022. That is the current standard. We will be covering the requirements of this standard, third revision of the standard. Let me tell you a little more background. Number one, 2007 onwards, IRCA is a division of CQI. CQI is abbreviated as Chartered Quality Institute. CQI is the abbreviation of Chartered Quality Institute. I'm not introduced to you, but most of you face-wise look like Indians. And in India, whatever is constitutional bodies in any democratic country, the constitutional bodies like Election Commission of India, the Auditor General of India, and so on and so forth, Supreme Court of India. This CQI has the same status in UK. They report directly into the country head, that is the King of UK. So they report into the royalty. That's what is the discipline they follow. Okay. So number one, it's parallel to a constitutional body. They report directly into the royalty. That shows that in that country, processes are given that much of importance, both because of legacy reasons that all over the world people are following British standards, and otherwise it's a cultural issue. They take it seriously. Although in my experience, I have seen so many shortcomings also there in that society. Now, second thing I wanted to tell you was that first standard of ISO released in 2005. In fact, that was the first standard I was trained formally, although I worked on the British standards also. 2005, the first ISMS standard came, and that standard was asset-based standard. The approach was that you list down all the IT assets and find out the risks on those IT assets, and then manage the standard. You manage those risks. If you can deal with the risks, you will become an information security company. That was the first standard. Okay. Now, what happened was, suppose I go to Ravi's company. I shake hands with him, sit there for 5, 10, 20 minutes and come back. I'm not an asset to his company. I'm a visitor. I went there, I had some official work. I sat with him for a few minutes and then came back. There is a risk involved. When the outsider comes to the company, he takes some information informally and formally both. Maybe when I was talking to Ravi, I looked at his laptop screen and there was a sensitive project icon, which is fixed in my mind. This risk is not covered by ISO 27001 of 2005 version, because their risk management, the whole ISMS management was depending on the assets of IT, physical assets of the IT department. Okay, so any information leakage, say you send a mail to me and it is leaked to someone else, that risk is not covered. Any information leakage which is not originating from the assets of the company, physical assets of the company, will not be covered under that standard. So very soon, within 2-3 years, they recognize this lacuna in the standard, and then they revised it in 2013. That time it was information-based ISMS. So now whatever information leaked from whatever sources, whichever corner, everything is covered. So the scenario changed in 2013, and the same thing continues now in the 2022 standard. These two backgrounds I wanted to tell you. Certain disciplinary norms, the 2-3 forms which your POs has shared with you, you have to fill them, and if you have not done it by now, please do it immediately. Simply because with the information in those forms, the BSCIC staff will be able to log you on the IRCA portal. Then only you become a legitimate student of this course. If you did it, it will not be the standard. You will not get the invites for the examination. Okay, they know that you are dealing with what I am supposed to upload your performance on a daily basis. They know who is logged and whose performance is coming. Your systems are tuned up like that. Okay. Number 2, you have to extensively use only laptops, not your mobiles, not your tablets. Simply because 2/3 of the course material is exercises, individual exercises as well as group exercises. And obviously, you can do the exercise only when you have a keyboard on your disposal. Your tablet and mobile will not have the keyboard. You will not be able to type fast. So joining on the laptop is a demand of the IRCA. You'll have to do that. Okay. After a while, I'll discuss with you about the breaks, what time to start and when to have the breaks. I'm open to any schedules. Okay. Other norms are you are supposed to keep your webcams on always. You are always supposed to keep your webcams on. Okay. And you have to participate as much as possible. More you participate, more you gain in the examination, in the evaluation, in the daily evaluation. Okay. Around 54% of the evaluation is on timely arrival in the beginning and after each of the breaks, and then participation. More than half is that. So if you are not able to perform in this regard, then you will not be able to be cleared for examination, AI-based exam. So do take care of that. Participate as much as possible. Don't hesitate that this is a silly issue. How do I ask this in front of everyone? When you are in the breakout rooms, discuss with each other as much as possible. Clear out doubts. When you are in the main room like this, discuss with me. You can electronically raise your hands anytime. I'll be pleased to clarify the issues once, twice, thrice. I'm ready to do that. Completing this more than 200 slides is my responsibility, not yours. You should get something out of this course. The acronym BSCIC stands for Business Systems Conformance Impartial Certifications. It's just the name of the company. This slide is important, so listen to me carefully. Number 1, each slide number is having a serial number. See my cursor at the bottom. SL8 is the serial number of this slide. Slide number 8. When I'm explaining some concepts, better take notes. Don't sit idle, better take notes. And give a cross-reference to the slide number. That will become a ready reference for you when you appear in the exam. Before that, you will prepare, and that you will have the which slides, what concepts you have learned. Okay, let me tell you, the whole examination is concept-based. Okay, you can't mug up things and thing. Yes, I keep unhesitatingly keep telling everyone that you should mug up the clause structure, 4.1 to 10.2. That's all, not the controls. You can't remember 93 controls. Do remember the clauses, because that, and I'll give you the logic also later on why I'm saying this. And do take notes. Whenever I tell a new concept, better take notes. If you are not able to take notes, you will not be able to recollect everything. Whatever we learned here in 9 days, is not able to recollect for examination. And after that, if you take notes, they become a ready reckoner even after the exam is over. Whenever you want to revisit the ISMS concept, you can take a reference to your notes. So be careful and do keep taking notes. Now, the objective of IRCA is not to tell you about the requirements of ISO 27001. This course is not focused on that. This course is focused on auditing the requirements, auditing against the requirements of ISO 27001. Now you may argue that how can I effectively audit the requirements of 27001 if I don't know them? But the IRCA standards, this is not the course for telling you the requirements in details of 27001. These 200 odd slides, they are not basically compiled for telling you the requirements in details of ISO 27001. Okay, they have been compiled to tell you about the auditing, and I guarantee if you are discussing with me, agreeing, disagreeing, and all that, you will become a good auditor by the end of this course. I'll cover all the concepts. I guarantee I'll cover all the concepts of ISO 19001, the auditing standard. Okay. With same weight in my voice, I can't say that I'll cover all the requirements of 27001. It's not possible in the given time. There are other courses like ISMS fundamentals course, lead implementers course, so on and so forth. This course is meant for making you an effective auditor. Okay. Now, after a while, when we get introduced to each other, I'll come to know your own self-assessment about your knowledge of ISO 27001. I'll try to tweak my delivery to the extent possible within the given time frame so that I do justice with your learning requirements. And I'm ready to do that. You'll have to work hard with me. If you don't work hard, I'll also lose interest. Okay. So this will go like this. Once you tell me about your own knowledge base about 27001 requirements, I'll keep them in mind always while delivering my lecture so that you pick up more and more. You means not individuals, you as a class. Okay. And from your side, you can stop me anytime you like. Just raise your hand electronically and I'll be most happy to take your questions. So in ISO word, in any of the ISO standards, competence, there is a term used, competence, and competence means knowledge, theoretical knowledge and practical skills. When it comes to auditing, we will provide you theoretical knowledge about audit concepts and practical skills to make you an effective auditor. That means how to conduct effective audits. Or I also take you through the mock audits to give you some practical idea how audits are conducted. And I'll be quite demanding. I'll be telling you this is wrong, this is right. I'll encourage you at the right things. I'll criticize you at the wrong things. Okay. Names of the standards used on this slide is ISO 19011. 19011, the third release came in 2018, is an international standard for conducting effective audits. It's a set of guidelines for conducting effective audits. It is extensively used within ISO world without fail. It is used outside of ISO world also. Okay, like other standards I know is CMMI and EFQM, European Foundation for Quality Management. They heavily draw from ISO 19011 as far as auditing is concerned. Third standards name you see here is ISO 17021. 17021 is a set of 3 standards, 17021-1, -2, and -3. This standard is meant for certification body. How should the certification bodies provide certification services? Okay. ISO certification services against various standards. So this 17021 series of standards is meant for that. That is not the focus standard for you and me. However, since both the standards 19011 and 17021, they revolve around auditing. Half the requirements are common. So that's why they have mentioned this standard also. Learning methods. There are, I think, 220 slides or so, 25 slides, something. I'll take you through all those 220 slides, explain the contents. Feel free to ask any number of questions, and I'll be most happy to reply. Yes, Sujay, you wanted to ask some question?
Yeah, on the previous slide, so there are two things here, right? One is your ISO body, which is your standardization, and the IEC. How different is that IEC body?
Okay, IEC is the acronym for International Electrotechnical Committee. International Electrotechnical Committee. It's an American organization. So the Americans have to poke their nose always, everywhere. ISO is a European organization. Okay. Now they think this is European now. Why should we follow it? So they came up with CMMI. They started following CMMI, but bird community was going towards ISO. Even in their country, they started following ISO. So then they made one IEC, which coordinates with the ISO Secretariat in Geneva.
So technically, the reason I wanted to bring this question is that from a certification point of view, not as an auditor, nothing much changes. So I just wanted to clarify.
The certificate you will get is ISO 27001, 2022, auditor and lead auditor, course number such and such. And the certificate is perennially valid. Till the time you are there, the certificate is valid. I did my first LA course in January 1994, QMSL 9001 LA course. That certificate is valid now. Even now, after 32 years, it is valid. Subject to the condition, whenever ISO the 9001 revises, I have to attend a 2 days transition course and pass the exam. So with that, I've done it so many times, and it is even just actually.
Yeah. Well, thanks for clarifying that.
So the certificate remains always valid. Okay, the validity comes not from the paper sheet or PDF you get from BSCIC or other companies. It mainly comes from the fact that your name remains on the IRCA portal, or the IRCA portal. So validity comes from there. Now you apply to my company. If I want to verify that PDF he is giving is correct or not, I can see your name, Sujay Kumar, your course number given on the certificate, and the certificate number, and verify with the portal. So the validity comes from there. Some mic is giving noise. Could you please? I think it is your mic only, Sujay. Okay. So there will be this more than 200 slides. I'll take you through all of them. There will be classroom discussions. You are welcome to raise your hands and ask questions as much as possible. You can ask questions between the tutor and the delegates, and between the delegates when you are in the classroom sessions, in the breakout rooms. Do use your whatever ID you're going to BSCIC. Use that ID, mail ID, for logging into the on this MS Teams tool. Well, that way I will freely able to use you for allocating you to different breakout rooms. That strengthens your learning. If I make permanent groups, you will discuss with only one kind of colleagues, and I will not be able to change that. So be careful. Use the other ID, whichever ID. Okay, you might have given the same ID or something else to BSCIC. Use that for logging into the this MS Teams tool. Now, evaluation method. I told you every day evening I have to complete the continuous assessment form. and upload it on the IRCA portal. Once I upload, I can't change it. So that is your daily performance report, which goes to them. Their systems will do whatever way they want to process this, and they will decide whether you are allowed to appear in the AI-based examination. This is artificial intelligence-based examination for 1 hour 45 minutes duration. Okay, it is unfortunately a little challenging, and challenge is because AI doesn't have any common sense. So if you look like this 2-3 times, the tool thinks that you are trying to copy something from I have a whiteboard here that you are copying from somewhere, another computer or a wall mount system or whatever. Okay, if there is a noise, if your son, daughter comes saying Papa, Mommy, something, it takes a noise and it disconnects. It of course gives you one warning and then it disconnects. If your phone rings, it disconnects you. You can't leave the room. You have to, eyeballs should be focused on the screen for those 1 hour 45 minutes. You have to take all those precautions, considering that it doesn't have any common sense. It's just a program. Okay, I'll tell you lots and lot of things about this examination and also hints how to crack it and how to score more. As the time passes, I'll keep telling you. Now, how many of you know about this PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, act cycle?
To a little extent.
Okay, to a little extent. Anyone else? Oh, very good. But do you know the basic concept before going into this standard? Basically, what is PDCA? Right. Good. Good. Anyone else who knows about PDCA cycle? Okay, since majority of you do not.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So this is very specific for auditors, right? Like the guideline is
No,
auditing guideline.
the
But this,
PDCA is a continual improvement model, which is applicable to your health, your personal life, your reaching to the office in time, on ISO XYZ, all standards. Not only this is not only limited to ISO, any process improvement standards all over the world during last 80 years are within the PDCA. They are aggressively following PDCA discipline. None of them, not a single one so far in last 80 years is out of PDCA. It's a very simple concept, but so as our friend Aryan was telling, it's a simple concept, but it is universal. Process improvement doesn't happen without PDCA. In fact, any of your IT projects or whichever, since you are running a ISMS course, I presume you are IT professionals. So none of the projects will move without PDCA. Project Management Institute, PMI model, that depends on PDCA. Okay, let me start explaining this. Let me devote some time in explaining this, because majority of you didn't say yes or no. So it goes like this. After those two atomic bombs which were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki during Second World War, Japan was totally ruined. That time, two of the quality gurus, there have been 4 quality gurus so far. Two of them, Edward Deming an American, and the second one was Joseph Jural, also an American. They came to Japan with the permission of King Emperor and started. They offered that, okay, we'll try to work with your industry to bring it up. My grandmother used to say that Japanese product is to something like Chinese product in our perception nowadays. Okay, Japanese product means cheapest possible and use less products. Metalware in her times, it used to come from Germany. India was hardly manufacturing anything except clothes. And so basically from the various markets except and nothing from US and other markets, other big markets, US, Australia, New Zealand, etc. Nothing from there. Europeans were good in metalware, especially Germany. Now, when these two people, Dr. Joseph Juran and Edward Deming, both of them were Americans, they started working with the industry with a local quality group, Taguchi. Three of them worked for 30 long years, 30 long years, to transfer the industry for a country which was totally defeated, morally down, economically broken. And they brought it to the stage that Japanese products now are being sold internationally. You and me and Americans and Australians will purchase Toyota cars and Sony TV. This is over the years, for last 10 years or so, I'm conducting these trainings. After wasting money in around a dozen of these headphones, I found Sony is the only one which is working, which meets my requirements. Okay, so on and so forth. That came because of these three quality groups. Joseph Joran, Edward Deming, and Taguchi. Taguchi was a local Japanese person. Now, Edward Deming has given this concept. He says that before embarking on any job, you must first plan. You must plan. So Rishabh Singh wants to reach his office at 9 in the morning every day. It is not possible unless he plans properly for this. Okay. This kind of planning, depending on the complexity of the work on hand, the would-be work on hand, and the size, complexity and size, the formality of the plan will be decided. For somebody reaching his or her office at 9 in the morning, you need only an informal plan in your mind. You just work. 9 o'clock I have to reach. It takes around 20 minutes to drive. Let me keep 10 minutes extra for in traffic jams, etc. So I should start from home at this time. I getting fresh in the morning. It takes this time. Having my breakfast takes this time. So I should get up at 5:30 in the morning, so to reach the office on or before 9. So that informal planning has to be there. If the planning is not there, it is not possible. They say failing to plan is planning to fail. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So planning is essential. Okay. First part is planning. Then second part is D of PDCA, doing things. Doing things as per plan. Implementing the planned arrangements at your workplace or in your personal life or wherever. Even if you are walking on a road, you should plan something and then do it accordingly. Okay. So Ravi, which is your current city? Where are you staying?
Currently, I'm actually in Bangalore. I'm supposed to be in Hyderabad. I have
Okay,
to
so
travel on an emergency. Yeah.
okay, so you are in Bangalore.
Yeah.
When you go back to Hyderabad, can you plan to walk to Hyderabad? When alternatives like 8 hours buses are available, 7 hours trains are available, half an hour flight is available, you will not do that. Okay, that is part of the planning. Okay, so and then implementing it accordingly. The doing is D of PDCA is implementing the plan. Okay, implementing the planned arrangements. Now, Six Sigma theory says that any repeated activity like Rishabh Singh going to the office and reaching there every day at 9, okay, or before 9. You need certain planning and you need to implement that plan. He can't make an elaborate plan and he need not to make a 20-page written plan compiled by him, revised by his, reviewed by his supervisor and approved by the top management. All that doesn't happen. You just have to do it informally and that and follows this. That's more important. That is D of PDCA. Now, Six Sigma theory says that when you start implementing any repeated thing, any like going to the office every day, okay, or doing the similar set of programming every day, running a project, okay, running a department year after year, any repetitive activity will have some variations. The having variation is totally natural. You can't bypass this. Whatever perfection you achieve, you can't bypass the variation. Okay, some variation will be there. That is measured, as Aryan was saying, that is measured in the C of PDCA, checking. They measure, you measure your own performance and see. Rishabh Singh sees, I have reached 2 minutes, 2 minutes in advance or 5 minutes late or whatever. What are the repercussions if he reached is 5 minutes late? Company marks him for half a day late or whatever. So he has to know all that. That is part of the planning. So C is checking. That is your own performance monitoring. You knowing where you are. C is most important. C is most important. Step of PDCA. Ravi is in Bangalore. Bangalore is a huge city. Okay. Suppose I have a very detailed map of Bangalore. Each and every tree, each and every lane, each and every building, everything is marked there. Each road, each lane, everything. And I'm in Bangalore, but I don't know where I am in Bangalore. That map is not going to help me, isn't it? Measurements tell you where you are. You are meeting your targets or not. You are reaching on at 9 or before 9, or you are reaching late. All that is measured, and measurement tells you where you are. Without that, you are blind. Okay. Now, deciding the threshold for those measurements. Suppose in this classroom, if you come 2 minutes late, although I'll always tell you, you have to come on time. If you come 2 minutes late, heavens will not fall. If Rishabh reaches his company 2 minutes late, in all probability, nothing will happen. Okay, it may go unnoticed. Now, if same Rishabh, if he's working in a automobile company, say, or a PCB manufacturing company, typical layout is those car bodies are slowly running on a conveyor belt. Okay, Rishabh is operator number 32. His job is he has been trained to put two components in the car. Within those 20 seconds or so, when the car body is there in front of his work table. After that, it will slowly go to the next operator. Now, in that case, he comes half a minute late. Okay, company will not tolerate that. They will say, okay, we don't need you. Because two components missing in the car means the car may undergo fatal accidents, loss of brand image, loss of profitability and all that. Okay, so depending on the end use, you will decide your threshold. You will decide whether you want to reach 5 minutes late or 2 minutes late. Or you have to be ready 30 seconds before 9 o'clock. If heavens fall, let them fall, but you have to be there. Okay, depends on the thing. Take the example of missile software. If missile gets detoured by 0.001%, missile fired from Bangalore may not fall on Pakistan, it may fall on Hindustan itself. Isn't it? Just 0.001% missing. That's what is measurement. Very important. The most important step is C of PDCA, measurements. That tells you where you are. Okay, I've seen, we don't tell in public, but one of my expertise is missile software testing, and I know havocs have been created in my country and some European countries where I've worked. because missile went off by 0.01%. Okay, which governments will obviously not announce. So C is the most important. Then the last step of PDCA is A, as Aryan was saying, A is acting on your measurement results if needed. Only thing I'm adding is if needed. If Rishabh's company allows him employees to complete by 2 minutes, they don't take note. Some company may allow 10 minutes, some company may not allow anything, not even 2 seconds. So depending on their standards, if he comes twice in a month, late by 2 minutes, he loses 2 half days the casual leaves or whatever. Okay. Now, how should he improve on that? That improvement is A of PDCA, acting on measurement results if required. If your performance is beyond your thresholds, your defect density, suppose you are running a software project, international standard for defect density is 0.02 defects per function point, almost 1 day of work. Okay. 0.2 defects per 100 lines of code, things like that. If you are not able to follow that, the customers will penalize you. So better improve. That improvement is A of PDCA. Okay, if you are working beyond your expected threshold, you are not able to perform within the acceptable limits. Limits set by your quality person, or limits set by your management, or limits set by the customers or the governments, regulators. You have to work within them. If not, take corrective actions. That corrective action is A of PDCA. When you successfully implement the corrective actions, that is A of PDCA, you become more intelligent, more knowledgeable, more informative about your work processes. That additional work, the knowledge, intelligence, etc., should be fed back into the planning cycle. So that next time you run your department or a project, or next time Rishabh wants to reach the office in time, he's more intelligent, he's more knowledgeable about his work processes. And he follows accordingly if he is a sincere person. That's what is PDCA. Okay. PDCA in that sense, since I'm telling you the A actions taken under A of PDCA have to be fed back into the P, the first step of PDCA. In that sense, it is a iterative cycle. Every time, every 3, 4, 5 months, you should replan and inject new things there to make the planning more effective. You will see, you will keep improving, whether it is your health, your kids' health, your school performance of your kid, or your performance in the project or a department or whatever. PDCA has to be followed. Okay. That's what is PDCA. Any questions? Sujay?
No, that's good.
Okay. This standard is depending on PDCA. All standard has been made on. All auditable standards of ISO series, all of them without fail, are working around PDCA model. Malcolm Burnley's award criteria, the National Process Improvement Standard of US government. European countries follow EFQM, it is followed in India also. Rajiv Gandhi Business Excellence Award, or Six Sigma, or name it. There is not even a single process improvement standard which is outside of PDCA. You have to follow PDCA. This is called, PDCA is called, PDCA of course it is called, but in the ISO standards it is called continual improvement. Continual means step by step. Do one cycle of PDCA, improve the planning, and then again do PDCA. So there's a continuous step by step improvement of your work processes. Or it is called process approach. In the standard, when we cover the standard, you will see the words process approach and continual improvement. Both means the same thing, and that same thing is EDCA. Okay. Now tell me, we will discuss, we'll get into each other, but for now, please tell me what time you want to have the dinner break. If you want to start early every day, depending on your schedules, you means you as a class. I'm open. If you want to, and I'm open for your dinner time, whatever time, half an hour dinner break we can have. You tell me the time. Neeraj, Sayyid Abbas, Sujay, Aryan.
It would be great if we start early, but I don't know if everybody else is also in
Okay,
favor.
let's find out. Let's find out.
We can start at 10 o'clock if everyone's okay. Then it's a sweet spot.
10 p.m. will be too late in the night.
Oh, it's too late.
10 means I don't know who all from you are in India. That will become 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so that may not be possible.
I was thinking if we can start early in terms of the session by an hour. So
by an hour, 7:30, it's okay. Anyone from these Gulf countries here?
Yes, I'm from Qatar.
You are focused 2.5 hours behind us. So you must be getting off by 6 p.m. your time. That is 8:30 p.m. So
Yeah.
will it be possible for you to have a short break for these now remaining 8 days?
Yeah. For me, no objection. It's okay.
So are you with the Sujay saying that we can start at 7:30 p.m.
Yes, we can.
India time? Anyone who has objection?
I would be having.
Proposing after 7:30.
Not able to get you? Kapil, you said something? Kapil Sharma, you said something. I couldn't hear that.
seems Kapil has got some issues. He's just put on the chat that your video isn't working. I think she
Okay,
is trying to type.
let me read his message in the chat box.
Actually, sir, my camera suddenly not working. Don't know what happened.
Okay, but
Trying
would you
to
agree
switch
with
on.
the Sujay and Kanchana that we start 1 hour earlier?
At 7:30. Yeah, it is fine for me.
I think
Both
Rishabh.
three of you agreed. Anyone else who has
I
objection?
I
Yes,
actually.
sorry. You said something, Rishabh.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I'm already taking half day off because I'm working with the US and European clients right now, and I
Hmm.
recently onboarded on the project. So starting early would be difficult for me. Yeah.
So, okay, what time suits you? If not 7:30, then will 8 p.m. India time suit you?
I would be very happy if you're starting late because even 8:30 is a bit difficult for me, but I would try to manage at 8:30 itself.
Late, I told you, see, like beyond 8:30, it becomes unmanageable. I see people sleeping here. Maybe I
Yeah.
myself will start sleeping because as such class is up to 1 o'clock. And if you make it late means 1:32 and then it affects your health.
Yeah, I get it, sir. So
So let's
8:30, if we can continue like the same time, because I would not be able to leave the client calls, and then I would be missing this, and this is something very new for me. I'm not from the same background, so yeah.
okay, so 8:30 and maybe 8:30, okay. And then Kanchana, what are your weekly offs? Saturday,
For
Sunday,
me,
or
Friday and Saturday, but it is manageable for me all the days, no problem.
no? I'm saying say Saturday is a common holiday amongst, say you are in Qatar, others are in India, then Saturday becomes a common holiday for all.
Okay, yeah.
So if you people want, we can have the class during the daytime also in Saturday. That's what I'm saying, if everyone agrees.
Yes. It's fine
Saturday
for me.
maybe we can shift like in second half, like
Whenever,
4
whenever
o'clock
you
or
want, at your disposal. After 11:30, 12, I will be available. Okay. So let's get, we'll discuss on Friday. Please remind me. We'll discuss on Friday and then find a time. And maybe why we squeeze a little time here, like I close little earlier. I have to complete 40 hours of tuition. First, like otherwise I don't do justice to the course. And then if I close little early, we can cover it on Saturday. We can have 5 or 6 hours course on Saturday. So if needed, otherwise I'm not here to harass you unnecessarily. If needed, then only. Okay. So let me note down. So start at 8:30 p.m. because of Rishabh. Dinner, okay, and then during daytime on Saturday. What is the date on Saturday?
It's 11th.
11th. Saturday, 11th. Okay, if I forget, then I'm helpless. You should remind me on Friday. Okay, and what time you want to break for dinner? One option is 9:30 India time. Else you tell me.
9:30 India time.
Yeah, sir. It is fine. 9:30 IST.
9:30 p.m. dinner. Okay, half an hour dinner, 9:30 to 10. So we are already late by 5 minutes for our dinner. So let's break now for dinner and we'll meet at 10:05 p.m. India time. Kanchana, you deduct 2.5 hours from that.
Sure.
Are you
7:35.
feeling, are you feeling
Yeah.
safe in Qatar nowadays?
Not much, but okay. Now it is new normal for us, like pandemic.
28th of February, I think it was a Saturday. I was conducting a class I was conducting an online class only. One person started jumping. It looked quite funny. He was jumping like this and then he ran away. And none of us thought that that missile has hit the American base there. So after 5 minutes or so, he came and he was almost crying, saying that there was a missile attack and then we are around 1.5 kilometers from that US base. And my brother is staying next to the US base, so I'm totally nervous. So I may be excused. I said, okay, by all means you go. But he came back again within 10-15 minutes. But then I saw it was some office building, so there was a display, the moving display on the wall. Suddenly that moving display started saying that go out of the building, go into the safe place, go out of the building, go out of the building. Then the hooters started coming up. Then I had to close the class. That was in 28th Feb, the first day of the war.
Yeah.
Around
20th.
2:30 India time.
Yes, it is 10:45 for us in the morning. Now it is new normal. We know yesterday also this 10:30 in the night they had and yeah.
You have a peace for next 15 days. Hopefully they washed out.
Hopefully until Trump announces something else.
And until you start believing Trump. So, okay, friends, half an hour break. We'll meet at 10:05 p.m. India time. Okay.
Sure.
Enjoy your break.
Thank you. We can
Thanks.
leave the meeting, right? Or we can.
Up to you. Entirely up to you.
Okay.
I'll leave it on. You can come and join anytime. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, one more thing I would like to discuss here on this slide. We have discussed the PDCA. And in fact, there is a shortage here in the slide. There is a shortcoming. PDCA, and then after A, there should be a feedback arrow, reverse arrow, back to P, right? Then it is a complete PDCA model process approach. Now, second thing I would like to discuss with you is that you see some clause numbers here. 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 6.4, 6.6, 6.7, etc. These clause numbers belong to the ISO 19011 standard or rating standard. They do not belong to the 27001 standard, the standard which we are covering. Okay, so I don't want to confuse you. I have in the mail, I hope you all of you have received the mail I sent. And in that mail, there is a one article for clause structure, ISO 27001 clause structure. That clause structure you must remember by heart. Like young students, what you used to do in your school days, 2 to the 4, 2 3 to 6, you start remembering these clause numbers also. This is necessary for your passing. The logic here is the logic. The clauses 4 to 10, 7 clauses, 4.12, 10.2 and 22 sub clauses. They are spread in 8 pages of the standard. The controls are spread in 12 pages of the standards, 8 plus 12, 20 pages. Okay, in the examination where when you are already under too much of time pressure, maximum failures happen because of time, managing the time, not because of your learning. So that time, if you do Control C, Control V for a Control F for searching a keyword, you will find it at 10 places in this 10, 20 places in this 20 pages standard. You'll get totally confused. If you know the clause, I can't expect you to know the controls. Even I don't remember them. At least the clauses you should know by heart. What is 4.1234, 5.123, 6.123, 7.12345? That you must know by heart. Then, so basically, you will do that Control F, Control C, or Control F basically within that clause. Each clause is around 7, 8 lines, 10 lines, not more than that. Okay, so many clauses are only 1.5, 2 lines only. Okay, so if you can reach the clause and then start searching for the keyword, you can visually do it without wasting any time in Control F. If you do Control F, you will find the same keyword at so many places and you will get totally confused and you don't have any time to, any luxury of time to get confused. Yes, Ravi.
Your screen is not visible to me.
No, I'm knowingly not showing the screen. Purposely, I'm not showing it. So basically, what I'm trying to say is the slide, that PDCA slide has certain clause numbers for 19011 standard. I don't want you to remember them.
Got it.
Okay, and I want you to remember all the clauses, only the clauses, not the controls of 27001 standard. That you can say that's a prerequisite to pass the exam. Okay.
Got it.
Now this slide.
Sorry, there was also another question.
Yeah, tell me.
You spoke about clause structure, right?
Right.
It's only one page that we see.
It's only one page which has certain sub clauses within clause 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's all. You just need to remember them. Okay. And I'll force you to go through so much of practice. But still, unless you start remembering them like young students, you will not be able to remember them all. Okay, especially Rishabh, who doesn't have any background. Rishabh, it is going to be challenging for you. So start remembering from now onwards.
Will do, sir.
Yes. Next slide. Various possibilities out of this course. First possibility is pass the continuous assessment. That is the 9 daily forms I will be filling and uploading. The minimum score required from you is 70%. Passing marks are 70% minimum. Okay. And I told you around 54% of the weightage is your timely arrival and participation. If you pass this continuous assessment, that is the summation of these 9 forms, which their systems will do it, then you are cleared for the AI-based 1 hour 45 minutes written exam having 40 questions, 40 questions. Okay, in that written examination, you should score. There are two conditions to pass. One is that you should score minimum 50% overall and minimum 38% in each of the 5 sections of the examination. 38% in each section, section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 50% overall. If you clear this hurdle also, then you don't have to do anything. BSCIC will tell you the results, and then later on they will send you the certificate also. So nothing to be done. Beyond that, nothing to be done from your side. Second option is you pass the continuous assessment, this daily assessment, but unfortunately fail the written exam. If you fail the written exam, you are given a chance to appear again within 1 year from the last day of this course. That is up to 15th of April 2027. Anytime you can appear, you have to pay some fees to BSCIC. And if you clear the exam, you get the same certificate. You get the same certificate, not a certificate which says that you passed the receipt exam. No, it won't be the same certificate. And that is as much valid as the original certificate. Okay. Now, third option is that you fail the continuous assessment itself. Your participation and attendance, etc. If you fail there, then no chance is given to you. Your fees is forfeited. You are not allowed to appear in the written exam. And basically, you lose your entitlement for anything. You just fail it. If you are further interested, you can rejoin the course either with BSCIC or someone else. And you'll have to go through this whole course again. Okay. So these are the 3 options. Any clarifications? Any questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to check when we will be receiving the certification link.
Within 30 days from the last day of this course. So that is up to 15th of May 2026. You can appear anytime, day or night, Sunday, Saturday included, anytime like.
Right. But I just wanted to check when we will receive the certification link so that when we can appear for
Now
the
it is too
certification.
early to ask for that on day one. If you have completed all your forms, etc., then BSCIC staff will start logging with them, and maybe on the 1 or 2 days before the last day, 14th or 15th, you may receive the link.
All right.
And you are given 30 days time, from that day when you receive the link.
Perfect. Okay.
We have decided the timing, so nothing to discuss here on this slide. The certificate you see on the left side of the slide, certificate of achievement. This is what is the outcome of if you pass the 2 evaluations, continuous evaluation and the written exam, written online AI-based exam. You get a certificate like this, certificate of achievement, which will have the IRCA and CQI logo, which will have the BSCIC logo, the course number, and the serial number of this course and the course sanction number. It's written somewhere here. Okay, so all those things will be there, and these details before giving the certificate to you, these details are IRC posts them on their portal. Okay, certificate on the right side is of no use in my opinion. Certificate of attendance. That implies that you attended the course but could not pass the exam, so nobody has to claim their certificate. However, I've seen very few cases. People who want to claim their money from their respective companies sometimes claim this certificate of attendance. Very few cases. Okay. So that's how it goes. Normally, you should achieve, try to aim to achieve this certificate of achievement. Okay. Let me now, this slide explains the 3-year certification cycle. Forget the slide, just listen to me. when a company wants to go for certification, they start looking for certification bodies near to them in the vicinity of their, say Kanchana is there in Qatar, so she would like to, I don't know, if she is in Doha, then our company would like to see a company certification body in Doha, if possible. She wants to go for UMS, ISMS, yes, Doha will be having companies. Their company wants to go for AIMS, they may get it from India or New Zealand or somewhere. May not be there in that country. Okay, depends on. So they will try to get it from the nearest point. Why? Because if our company gets the auditing agency from the Doha itself, the boarding, lodging expenses of auditors can be optimized. That naturally is a choice for each company. Now, however, for the governments and large corporates, a few thousand rupees or dollars here and there doesn't matter. So they can go for anyone. They just look for the thing. Second criteria for certification is accreditation agency. Accreditation agency, which is the reporting agency of the certification body. So hierarchy is IAF, International Accreditation Forum. Second level accreditation bodies, which are normally, not always, but normally national accreditation bodies. And the third level is certification bodies, the companies who come to your company, my company, for certification services. Okay. That is the hierarchy. So you would like to know for which certificate, which accreditation agency the certification body is aligned with. So like I was talking about Kanchana's company. So suppose Kanchana's company, their main clientele is from Germany. So they would like to go for a German accreditation company. If their clientele is from India, then they would like to go for Indian accreditation company. Okay. Normally they are government bodies, but not always. In most cases, 90% cases, the accreditation companies are national bodies like NABCB in India. I don't think anybody is there in Qatar. Most popular body is JASANZ, Joint Accreditation System of Australia and New Zealand. They are most popular all over the world. Then UK's company is UCAS, UK Accreditation Services. American body is ANAB, American National Accreditation Board, etc., etc. There are private companies. IAS is one of the private companies, which is quite popular all over the world. NABC of India is not so popular even within India, but in their accreditation services for hundreds of certification bodies all over Europe and Gulf countries. They are quite popular. In pharmaceutical and medical sciences, they are quite popular. Otherwise, we in India, we ourselves don't know them. And basically, we auditors or the certification bodies do not prefer them because they are quite bureaucratic, typical of being an Indian government company. Okay. So, but still, they are quite respectful and popular in European and Gulf countries for pharmaceutical and medical services. So that is the second criteria. Who are the accreditation bodies to the certification body you have selected? There could be more than one accreditation bodies. Suppose Kanchana's company, suppose they have business from Australian bloc countries, Australia, New Zealand, etc. They may go for JASCNZ. For clientele is in their in Germany, they may go for DEGRA, German accreditation body. Okay, like that. Sometimes clients prefer that you get us a certificate which is accredited from such and such body. Then that becomes your criteria. And the third criteria is commercials. So mainly on these three criteria, you select a certification body, zero down on one of them, decide your commercials. And after that, the first activity for from the side of the certification body is to ask your written down ISMS. That is your written down processes, defined processes, and associated formats, guidelines, checklists, standards, etc., etc. Okay, all these things the certification body will they'll make you fill so many forms and take down your entire ISMS and send it to the designated lead auditor. Most often, the checking of these written down ISMS is done offline by the lead auditor, most often. And I would say 90% cases is done offline. However, in some companies, they feel that their processes are too sensitive. They don't want those processes to go out of their company boundaries. So then they pay extra and then call the certification bodies to their company. They pay extra and then call them to the company. So basically the same thing which I do sitting here. I go and charge my money and then do it at their place. Either way, 80% of the job of stage 1 audit. Stage 1 is a preliminary audit, pre-audit. Stage 1 audit, 80% of the job is checking the document adequacy. The documented processes and associated process assets like formats, checklists, guidelines, standards, etc., are conforming to the requirements of the standard 27001. Okay. Balance 20%, he or she, the lead auditor, necessarily has to visit the organization to be certified. Okay. That visit could be, earlier it used to be 100% cases. Physical visit, nowadays it is physical or virtual visit, either way. Okay. And things, yes, I'll come to you, Ravi. Things which are checked by the lead auditor during the virtual or physical visit are, these are the things. Number one, at least one round of internal audit should have been conducted by the company, internal ISMS audits. One more round of management review should have been conducted. Okay. The written down ISMS should be at least 90 days old. It should not so happen that I go to research company and they have compiled their ISMS last week only. And I give them clearance for going for a stage 2 final certification audit. They don't have the data points to show it to me. So what is the use of such an audit? They will fail the audit. So at least 90 days. The 90 days is not sacrosanct. IAF guideline says the ISMS should have been implemented for sufficient time. And this sufficient time has been interpreted by certification bodies like either 90 days or 120 days. Okay. So he sees that he takes a round of the company under the scope, the departments and locations under the scope. He or she takes a round and then looks for any obvious physical vulnerabilities. I don't like Kapil Sharma, so what I do is, if I get a chance, I take the mouse or a pen drive or his cell phone, etc., from his table and throw it out of the window. That open window is a physical security vulnerability. Vulnerability is nothing but weakness. Vulnerability, what is used in ISMS, it means nothing but weakness. Okay, within the office also. Normally, a city like Bangalore, where the climate is good, top floor of the building is cafeteria. There's no air conditioning, windows are open, or there are no windows, and if I don't like Kapil, I throw out his things. Okay. I may not get anything, but he loses his vital information. Okay. So lead auditor looks for, because of his experience, he looks for these kind of vulnerabilities. Within the building also, within the multi-story buildings, across the floors, you have a shaft going across all the floors, apart from the lift shaft, which has a small window openings. And that shaft is used for internet wiring, power wiring, and all those things. Okay. Any conduits, any water pipes, gas pipes, and all that. Okay, and those small windows, 3 feet by 2 feet type windows, you must have seen them in multi-story buildings in one corner somewhere, normally in the middle of the building, and they will leave it open. That is solid vulnerability. Anything I don't like, I just throw it there. Okay, so little just checks all that, and then also most importantly, he talks to employees in the company randomly. Few company, 5, 10 employees. He's there for 8 hours or 10 hours. So he talks with some of the people and then tries to gauge whether they understand the terminology used in the standard. If I ask Neeraj Gaur, what was the corrective action done on this such and such NC? And he does not understand what corrective action is, corrective action, root cause analysis, etc. is. Then in the final audit, it's very difficult for me to interview him because I will speak the terminology used in the standard and he will not understand that. Now, depending on all this information collected in the evening, he or she, the lead auditor, tells the management, look, if you call us after 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, whatever is his assessment, then that will be suitable time for the stage 2 audit. Now, sometimes companies are in a tearing hurry to go for certification. That is risky for them. The certification fails. Otherwise, the methodology is such that in stage 1, you filter out all the major NCs so that you don't see failure in stage 2. But if you have commercial reasons, you want a piece of paper, then it's another thing, then you may fail also. Yes, Mr. Ravi, you wanted to ask something.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the accreditation part, right? You said that if a company wants to get, so you spoke about 5 to 6 different entities that are accredited bodies for different countries. I tried to make note of them, but overall, what my question is, can a company in India, so uh, the certifying body is in India, but I want to give a ISO 27001 cert to a foreign, a US company, let's say. Is that something that's possible?
That's possible.
Some coordinating.
You can go to any certification body anywhere. Even for you are using the word cert, so even for cert you can do that. I have audited certification in Australia. Okay. The only challenge I faced was that I needed to know their privacy law. I knew their IT Act, more or less, but I didn't know their Privacy Act. So I had to study that. I just have to see. I had to just browse the net for this thing. That is the only restriction. Otherwise, you can do it for any country, anytime. Now, in a country like, suppose you are sent, suppose I send you to US. There are challenges. It's not so easy, but yes, it can be done. I send you to US for, say, auditing ISMS or PIMS, Personal Information Management System. Now you are auditing in California. There is one set of privacy laws. 3 hours you drive and then go to Illinois, and the law changes because they are in the federal structure. Each state has their own laws. So if you are auditing, now normally if they are calling an Indian, if they call me, they will take me to whatever offices they are having all in such a huge country like US. And it is very difficult for me to know the laws of Pennsylvania and Illinois and Florida and California. It becomes mind-boggling. But still, with experience and with a little bit of browsing here and there, you know the name of the act, main features of the act. You can ask open questions. Balance, they are the experts, so they will tell you. Their legal sense will tell you what it is. You can do it. There's no national or international boundary that Ravi can go to this country, not to that country. They're practical considerations, of course. Like nowadays, you will not like to go to audit concerns company. Let her face that new normal she is saying. The missile and what you call that drone noise every day. You would not like to go from here. I had 27 persons team working in Manila, Philippines. I'm a strict vegetarian, so I never went there. Dependent on these ICT tools. Because in those years, 10, 15, 20 years back, there was hardly any vegetarian thing there. Yes. Yes, Ravi. Did you have any other question, Ravi?
There is something called certification body. That is the one we coordinate with. You spoke about IAF, right? That is the assessment association.
Accreditation body.
So they can also be accreditation body, and then there is an assessment association. So there are mainly three main parts.
It's like this is a hierarchy. Your company, my company. In the certification world, we are the lowest levels. We get audited. Certification comes to us. Okay. Who gives the certificate? Certification body. The second level is certification body. Their supervisors are accreditation bodies. And there could be more than one accreditation bodies aligned with the same certification body. Like this BSCIC, they are accredited by JAS, ANZ, IAS, and NABCB, and one more company, EIDC. So four of them, they have 4 accreditation bodies. They got audited every year by 4 different accreditation bodies.
Got it.
Okay, and the highest level, the fourth level is IAF, International Accreditation Forum. That's a not-for-profit organization which sets the guidelines for auditing. Suppose I go to your company having 570 people. So how many audit days audit has to be conducted? Okay, depending, and then how much of variation I can have depending on the complexity of work. Yes. So any other questions, friends?
Something with you. No, nothing right now. I'll share something with you, sir. We'll talk offline. There is a very specific use case, but I'll talk to you about that later.
Where have you shared it?
Sorry?
Have you shared it on WhatsApp?
No, I have not shared it because it's there is a
you
small
will share. Okay, you are welcome. Okay, friends. So this is the possibilities where you will conduct the audits. After the stage 1 audit, the lead auditor decides the probable certification date, final audit, stage 2 audit or final certification audit dates with the organization. The certification body is informed, they schedule the audit. Typically, stage 2 audit is conducted by more than one auditors. Typically one lead auditor, and depending on the size and complexity of the organization and spread also. More than one auditors may be there, but there has to be minimum one lead auditor. Very small companies like 5, 10 people, 20 people company, only one lead auditor will be there, but that person will have to be lead auditor, not auditor. Okay, that's how it goes. The outcome of stage 2 audit. In stage 2, all the auditors will department after department, they will audit all departments, all functions, all projects, all locations. Okay, and final outcome is one of the 3 things which are announced by the lead auditor in the closing meeting. The announcements are, we are pleased to recommend you for certification against XYZ standard. In this case, ISO 27001 2022 standard. Other is that we are constrained to recommend you for a follow-up audit. Okay, because either too many NCs were there, or a major NC was there, and the discretion of the lead auditor, major NC may result in immediate stoppage of the audit. That means I'll have to announce a follow-up audit. There could be other conditions like I went to Kanchana's company, the bombing is going on there, so I could not complete the audit because the employees could not come to the company. I waited for a day and then came back. So a case of follow-up audit. Now suppose I go to our company and see the ledger balance of laptops in the company is 322. But physically I'm seeing 318 laptops only. Laptops or anything. There's no way I can close that NC, even though she swears for it, writes everything, gives me the photographs, unless I go there and see it. So that audit may be for half an hour or 1 hour, 2 hours only. But lead auditor, follow-up audit is recommended. Okay. And the third option, the only other option is recommending sorry, we are not able to recommend you. Okay, closed case. Very rarely, but yes, it happens at times. I've done it twice. Then after the certificate is granted to you, auditors are recommending authorities. Certificates granting is done by the certification bodies based on a review committee they have. Each of them will have a review committee which will review the lead auditor's audit report. Okay, and she's given their responses and all that. They will review everything and then grant certificate based on which the certificate is sent to the company. After that, for a period of 3 years from the date the certificate is granted, for a period of 3 years, there are 3 frequencies allowed by IAF. Once in 6 months, or once in 9 months, or once in a year. You have to get yourself through surveillance audits. Okay, auditors will come again, and then there is criteria given, otherwise their part of the company will be randomly selected part of the company will be audited by them. And on successful completion of the surveillance audit, they'll keep recommending you for further 6 months or 9 months or 1 year. This goes on for 3 years. The original certificate's validity is over after 3 years. So certificate is granted to you today on 8th of April. On 7th of April 2029, the life of the certificate is over. The company will have to go through the same stage 1 and stage 2 certification, either with the same company or some other company. The belief is within 3 years, your business needs change and your process assets also would have changed. So that is the discipline we follow. Yes, Ravi.
So, somebody who has initiated a certification has to be all the 3 years. Should he has to be with the same auditor?
No, auditors may keep changing.
Okay.
Up to 2019, I was aggressively traveling all over the world, almost 2 trips on an average per month. Then after that, I'm 74 years old. I started having this knee pain. I'm not traveling nowadays. So if I want, like I have this Deutsche Telekom, something like BSNL of Germany. I like their data center. I've been going there for ages. So once in a year I go there. It's up to me. In Corona times they called me. I did not go. They felt very bad, but I said no. There's no use of my going. For 3 days trip to Frankfurt, your government will quarantine me for 14 days, and I come back to India. My government will quarantine for 10 more days. So 27 days of away from the work for 3 days of billing. So I don't want to go. Okay. So it is entirely up to the auditors. Auditees, certification body may change the names, may change the auditors. Clients may give negative feedback for the auditor. They may not be sent again. They may give positive feedback and want the same auditors again. Although it's not a good best practice to have auditee pairs, that I only go to your company always. That also should not happen.
That's like that is decreasing the independentness of
no, after
the
3-4 visits, you will know this joker will ask me these questions. So you are pre-prepared. That should not be there. It is a random audit.
So I really liked what you said. So the auditor is going to recommend. So there is an auditor within the company, within the certification body, who will recommend that, yes, I have looked at the stage 2, and then he is going to say that you can give him the cert, depending on whatever.
The auditor is only recommending. The final granting decision is by the certification body. This is as per, you remember the name, ISO 17021-1-2 and -3 on slide number 8. That standard that covers all these activities. They control the activities of the certification bodies who will do what.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Kanchana, you
Again,
had
so
some questions?
so just to finish it off, so the auditor will look at the stage 2 and then they will recommend it to the certifying body. Does the certifying body again look at the evidence before they certify us? Okay, got it.
And they have to scrutinize the only thing they have, tangible thing they have is the audit report submitted by the lead auditor. They have to go through it carefully because they are the ones who get audited by the accreditation bodies. If I do a mistake, suppose I favor you in your company, okay, the reprimand will come to the certification body, not to me. I have submitted my report, and that time they ask me, I'll have to tell them. After that, I am out of the. After 1 year, who remembers?
Yeah.
So it is they who. So that's why they are quite careful in granting certificates. At least on paper, each and everything should be streamlined.
Got it.
Okay. Yes, Kanchana, you had some questions?
Yes, sir. So can lead auditor, any auditor can continue online audit if any uncertainty they are in the half of the review or something doing the audit?
Unfortunately, you have touched issue which is there's no definite answer for this. IAF is closing its eyes. Okay, there is no standard available. IAF is the one who gives the guidelines. There is no guideline till date that what percentage of audits will be conducted on in the virtual fashion.
Even for the planning also?
So you can do all the audits virtual for years and years. Okay. However, some certification bodies, some good ones, they have decided their own standards that at least 1 in 3 audits should be a physical audit. Where auditors go there. Now, for cases like me, I don't want to go to various places within or outside India. Then they say, okay, your subordinates will go. Okay, I'll keep conducting audits in the virtual. So that because there is no guidelines, this creates a lot of problems. Like I may take it easy. I may just sitting here. I will just keep the ICT tool open. Just ask some questions and give you the certificate. Or actually, the virtual audits cannot be as effective as the physical audits. Physically, when you visit a site, you see so many things. And virtually, you see only what your camera, you want to show it to the auditor through your camera. So that makes a lot of difference. You are not able to see what all things are there on my table, on the side table, and here there is a whiteboard here. You are not able to see all those things. That makes a lot of difference in audits. Okay. So actually, physical audits are much more effective. But everything is allowed because the ISPs basically they take few years to take each and every small and big decision. Another thing which is going on is suppose Ravi's company is having 500 people. Okay, Kanchana's company is also having 500 people. Now there is a standard called ISO 27006 which decides how many auditor days of audit it will be for 500 persons company. Okay, so in both your companies it should be same days. But the problem is Ravi's company is having 9 departments, 500 people, single location. Kanchana's company is having 9 departments, but 5 more projects and spread into Doha and Abu Dhabi and Oman, Muscat. Now, they give hardly 25, 10% or so time extra. But if I have to do justice with the project audit, I need at least 2 hours, 3 hours for each project, small or big. If that is not there, then I'm not doing justice. I'm just doing the formality. But IF is blind to all this. So there are so many such things where complexity of business, spread of the business, and the projects, mainly the projects in IT business. I'm talking like me and you are basically from IT. So if you don't do the justice with the project audit, beating the departments every time doesn't give you much results. Okay.
I just have a follow-up to this. So, is it good for me to assume, like you mentioned in the statement, right, The organization decides whether the audit can be performed internally or virtually or in person, depending on their data residency or their confidentiality or whatever process they follow. So, is it good for me to assume that there is no guideline as such
There's
set?
no guideline. Unfortunately,
Right.
as of date, there are no guidelines. I can conduct all the audits
Virtually?
on site or offline or a mixture of them.
Oh.
So that standardization is not there. Normally, Kanchana used the word new normal. She used it in a different context, but here the new normal is suppose you are in Bangalore and I'm in Noida. I'm actually in Noida. Noida to Bangalore 1 week trip will easily cost your company around ₹1 lakh. Moment I step out of my home, the taxi to the airport, then Bangalore airport to the hotel to location X, location Y, location Z for 3-4 auditors and for 3-4-5 days. Easily it will go more than ₹1 lakh per and hotel expenses per auditor. Now your company knows that, okay, if I don't call this joker, it is okay. Whatever fees he is charging, let him charge and let him stay at home. He is happy and I'm happy. So in that sense, it has become a new normal. But there are Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies, governments, even large corporates, even our in company. The Wipro is not a Fortune 500 company, but they would like to have the auditors on site. If they want to have the real value add from the audits, they would like to call them on site.
Because
And the auditors also like to go to such companies.
I had a conflict with my previous company,
Hmm.
not conflict, like a conversation, where my statutory auditor was Deloitte.
Hmm.
They were performing the stat audit for my ITSM processes, and we were supposed to share all the evidences to them for them to audit, and I refused to share the data to their Deloitte IDs. And I said, you have our internal bank IDs, maybe I'll be happy to share my data there. So they came up with a statement that we have an NDA and we have the standard to assess it through our Deloitte IDs. So my question to them was, you have access to my data, I've given access on my system. What are the challenges that you are facing that you want forcibly my data into Deloitte? I have no reason to trust you as a third party for me, though you have an NDA. So how do you tackle such scenarios?
Okay,
Because
now we keep facing this situation in each and every audit, each and every one of them. Even some of the third-rate companies who are actually, they don't even know what confidentiality is, they will say, no, it is sensitive data, we can't show it to you. So, see, it depends how it goes. In IT companies, it goes like, I come to you, you are the project director or something. You said, sir, you can't enter this room, my project room. Here is the customer contract. I said, okay, no problem. So there you bring your laptop, I sit in front of the room and then conduct the audits. In between, I'll call 1 or 2 more people from your team. He said, no, I can't even bring the laptop. Although from the security records, I know that you are taking the laptop home every day. Okay. So then auditors will find their way out. I can tell you always, okay, that if you cannot get audited because of so-called customer restrictions, your project will be out of the audit scope. We write there, this Sujay's project is not audited. Then he'll say, no, sir, let me take permission from the client. Okay. So this keeps happening. Now my auditors, as an auditor, my argument will be that I have given a signed NDA. Okay. As a professional, I will not do it. As an IRCA certified auditor, you can make a complaint against me. I lose my license if I'm leaking confidentiality. But see, on your side, you are right in saying that. Why should I give my data? If the data is something like a network diagram, it is sensitive, but it is not so confidential. Okay, as a responsible person, I will not play with it. I am not a criminal who will go and cut a wire in your company, even though I have this thing. But there may be sensitive things. There may be customer confidential. You are responsible to them. Okay. I always keep telling them, even if they are willing to give it to me, I said, okay, these project reports mask the project identifiers. I just need a piece of evidence. Okay, and I got no intention to this thing. Then there is one more practical aspect. As a professional, I am not. I'll take the data from you and will not misuse it. I've been conducting audits for 42 years now. I would not like to play with my reputation in the field. Okay, in all continents, so many companies know me, so I would not like to play with that. But at the same time, what is the guarantee that when I send this audit file to the certification body, somebody after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years will not play with that data? So why should I take it from you? So it is a basic understanding from both sides. You mask it, even after masking, only when necessary. Only when I have to prove my the evidence-based approach of the audit to the accreditation body, I need it. Otherwise, I'm least interested in your data. And I have seen when you take this approach, people respect you, they happily give the data to you. There are a lot of psychology involved. Looking at the face of the auditee, you can tell him that where from he is speaking. Auditee who has not done anything, he will take shelter under the seniority, okay, under the confidentiality clause with his customer, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it because auditing, we teach them when we go to the audit section. I'll tell you, body language tells you a lot of things. Okay, so this was basically the whole 3 years of cycle has been explained on this slide. I have told you in details. Now, before I go to the next slide, please tell me what are the benefits of ISMS certification? Benefit of ISMS certification.
So, as per my understanding, what I feel is, let's say from business point of view, if a company is not ISO 27001 certified, investors will not have faith in that company, and then they'll not be investing the money. So, I mean, from business point of view, this certificate is very required because to onboard investors and to stay invested. Because in the end, it is a
Investors
business.
will not have faith even after the certification. Customers will not have faith even after the certification. They know a lot of shortcuts are taken.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, they all said and done, there is a confidence in the customer that look, I'm in Germany, Rishabh is in Kanpur. Okay. If he see in his company, because it is certified company, some minimum discipline of ISMS is being followed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is not free for all.
Yes.
Beyond that, so many things keep happening. Wrongly or rightly, both.
Yeah.
There are 2-3 cases in around 2008 time frame. I was the project director of a 300% project of Bank of America during the 2008 time frame when that crisis was there in the American economy. American economy came down very badly, and then their clients, their service partners all over the world suffered. I was in HCL, 300% project. That lady, project director from Bank of America, she came here and said, Ribu, I am cancelling your order. I am sorry. Said, what will happen to these 300 people sitting with me? And why I'm cancelling? Because she had on the PPT slides 3 newspaper cuttings, which she saw in her country. One Royal Bank of Scotland, one data center was running in Gurgaon in India. Some young boys and girls were selling the customer data for some few dollars per customer data. It is a crime only. Bank's own intelligence system came to know of it, and they straightway went to the Gurgaon police. 2 girls were raped and murdered on the same day. One boy is missing till date. He also would have been murdered only. The bodies of girls were found and boys' body was not found. Same thing happened in Mumbai, and 3 such incidents happened in Bangalore around 2007, 2008 time frame. She said, these kind of things are happening. I'm 70 years old, I'll not get another job. So if my government asks me, why are you giving your business to such a country where these things are happening? So much of rampant data leakage. It was 2000, it means ISO standard came in 2005. It has not even taken roots in the country. She happily cancelled it and went back. She paid us, they paid us a lot of money, but still, morally, I was responsible for 300 people. These things keep happening. So, you know that even after certification, a lot of things happen. What stops me? I go to your company and know this is a good company, bad company, nicely maintained aesthetics, a large server room, a small server room, some indiscipline I see Abbas is tailgating behind Sujay Kumar. I'll have some impression. This information I may leak, I may not leak. Depends how professional I am. Okay. I will try to exploit that information. So this keeps happening. Yes, but I agree with you. Clientele and governments. See, you can't export anything to hardware or software to European countries, 27 of them, without having ISO 9001 certificate. By law, it is not allowed. You can't export anything to European countries without CE certification. CE is a product certification. Electronic products like this should have CE certification. This also is having one. Okay. So, like in India, you can't sell a pressure cooker without ISI stamp. Okay, things like that. So, but that doesn't mean that while getting that ISI or CE certification, I'll follow all the things, all the disciplines meticulously. Okay? And that's what is caught by the auditors. But for confidential reason, why should we go against our own auditees? So other benefits, just please go through these benefits and you can ask me any number of questions. Benefits of going for 27,001 certification.
I think apart from all of this, I think the certification adds kind of some principles in terms of the organization function as a whole. For example, I'm a third-party vendor performing maybe a gap analysis or even performing a SOP draft for the company. If I am a certified organization rather than a certified individual, it gives more confidence that there's a lot of logic.
Yeah, very right. So maintaining confidentiality, integrity, availability, maintaining the discipline, process orientation, and then commercial benefits like governments will not allow you to say, like in our country and in most countries, they will say for any service or organization, especially call centers or software development organizations, they should be ISO 27000 certified because some minimum discipline will come. You know, and in that sense, it has become a hygiene factor. Without that, without ISO 27001, you can't even apply to tenders.
Yes. For us, it is mandatory actually.
There is a few, around 10, 15 years back, there used to be a television ad in our country. Uski sari, meri sari se safed kyun? Okay, so no logic. But if I want to remain in business, I should have 27,001 certificate, 9,001 certificate. Nowadays, these Gulf countries, lot of these small Gulf countries are there. They are emphasizing too much on BCMS certificate, business continuity management system, and because of after Corona, it has happened, and now after this war, it will happen many times more. God willing, if the war is over soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 1911, I have told you, it's a de facto standard for conducting effective audits against any standard, within ISO framework or outside of it. Very good standard it is. Knowingly, I am not telling you the clause numbers, and I'll tell you the clause numbers of 27001 in details. 17021 standard, I told you it is for the certification bodies, not of interest to you and me. Half the requirements are same, so it's okay. Otherwise, how many days of audits, who conducts the audits, who is a who can be a certified ISMS auditor. There are specific requirements which are not there in any other standard. All those things are there. See some benchmarks here. And this benchmark is around 5-6 years old, so I can't guarantee this is the latest one. 47% of data leakage is on personal information. Personal information leakage is a crime nowadays. In our country, in most advanced countries, it is whole of Europe, including UK, it is 28 countries, not 27. And it came in May 2018 in Europe, and then by November 2018, it came to California state. Then most of the states are covered, not all. Indian DPDP Act 2023 is there, August 2023. Australia is covered. These small Gulf countries also, some of them are covered, or they have just they may not have law, but they have the royal decrees or something that privacy is covered. You know what is the penalty if I leak the name or gender or age or Aadhaar number or mobile number or phone number, or email ID, etc. Whatever information I have, say of Abbas Saeed, penalty of me is up to 250 crore rupees. Mind-boggling. 250 crore rupees in our own country. In Europe, it is 20 million euros per violation. Minimum 20 million. It is not maximum. Minimum 20 million euros or 4% of the company's turnover, whichever is higher. At the very minimum, it is 20 million euros. That's the reason Indian companies I have seen. Earlier, we used to have those fingerprint attendance systems. Now they are getting rid of them. They have started putting that access card based systems. Yeah. Because the personal information, the finger information, which is to be maintained by it for 10 years. In 10 years, 3 sets of HR people will change, but company remains liable. If something happens, who will pay the penalties? And access card system is okay. It's some coil which is mapped to your employee ID, and that's all. I call it Mangal Sutra. Whichever company you go, you have their Mangal Sutra. Okay, so that is safe nowadays. So people are going for that, not for the biometric fingerprints. 26% by hackers, another 26% by other security breaches, viruses 7%, so on and so forth. May not be most authentic data, but it's leakage of information. Yes, Ravi, I'll come to you. Leakage. So I'll give you one. Then 2012. It is too late now. Like it is already 14 years old. There was a survey done by NASA in US and so many other countries. They conducted a survey. I was there for 3 months. For 3 months project there in NASA. They conducted survey and the results were 80% of the leakage of information takes place by internal sources. It's a direct slap on your face, my face. We people are leaking data up to 80%. Knowingly or unknowingly, that is another thing. Yes, Ravi, you had some question?
So again, very basic one. So whenever I'm talking to anybody, whenever I talk about ISO 27001, the latest one, I'm telling them that, hey, this is information security management system. We cover security as the primary parameter for what we cover, right? And then I have done this so many times. SOC 2, if you know, SOC 2 type 2, that has more 5 different trust service criteria. And so I tell consistently that ISO is a good standard to have, but it only mainly contains or mainly takes a look at security aspect of your systems. But if you're going with SOC 2, again, it is a bit more different, but specifically for the US or North America, it is very specifically, it will help you with all the other trust service criteria for your application, right? But what I realized from even till now, whatever discussion we have had, I think I was wrong in telling them that it is only ISMS, correct?
No, let me put it this way, rather than contradicting you.
Yeah.
ISMS is a management standard. By and large, it's a management standard. Out of 93 controls, there are 4 groups covering 93 controls. First group is management, organizational control. They call it. It's pure management control. 37, maximum number of controls, 37 are there in management group. Then comes people's group. How to control the information in people's mind. Most challenging, especially for Indians. Most challenging. Okay. Then third one is physical security control. They are as much important as the network security controls. Technocrats think that network security is everything. But what if physical security is barred? Okay. Then comes a last group is 34 controls of technical controls. And there also some of them are management control, like configuration management is one of the controls. Data masking, when I'm sending your resume to the customer for your good, I'm legally not supposed to do it till the time you give me a written consent. Yes, Mr. Ribu Lamania, you can share my resume. And legally, you are free to withdraw your consent anytime you like.
Okay.
I have to withdraw your name because it is your information. You are the owner of the information. I'm just trying to help you. That's all. So now there are a lot of formalities have come. It's mostly a management standard, even in those 34 technical controls, data masking, configuration management. All of us know configuration management. Even if you don't know I of ISMS, we know configuration management. Software projects will not run without that. Okay. There are so many of them are like this pure management controls there also.
So I should be saying it covers not only information security, it also covers cyber security and privacy protection. We can
And the
also
SOC 1, SOC 2, they are leaning more towards technical controls. Here it is more of management control. Using technical area like ICT is a control like info security in ICT. That's a new control added. Because nowadays so much of business is happening on ICT tools. So how do I maintain that whatever is being transpired between us, it remains strictly within us? You see this red dot here on the screen, left side of the screen. This signifies that whatever is being discussed within us is being recorded, video and audio both. Okay, and you and me are liable for this. Whatever information we are sharing. Since it is controlled by UK, GDPR also comes into picture. Okay, there's no way I can share an iota of information about you people, or you can share about me to anyone, because then we are taking a big risk.
Thank you.
Thanks, welcome. Okay, now next concept. Information resides in mainly 3 areas. Information resides in 3 areas: electronic media, print media, and human mind. Okay. Nowadays, people are shifting more and more on the electronic media. Like I'm a single person company. I got a paperless office. My GST returns and income tax, of course, everyone does income tax returns online now. And all my invoicing, follow-up, everything is on based on tools. Hardly any paper is there. So electronic media controls, print media, your university degree, okay, your salary slip or whatever. There's some print media information also which has to be guarded. Okay. Then comes the third most sensitive part of the most challenging part of the information leakage, and that is information in human mind. How do you control that information? Any idea? How do you control the information in human mind? I go to Ravi's company, talk to him for 5 minutes, come back, and I carry some impression about the company, good, bad, positive, negative, anything. How do you control that this is not leaked to outsiders? Any ideas? Those second control group, people's group, control group 6, having 8 controls, is entirely on this issue. Spreading awareness, background checks, okay, NDAs. NDA at the time of joining, NDA at the time of your working with the company, and NDA at the time of leaving. These are the requirements I'm saying. Okay, and awareness plays a lot of things. That giving a sense of responsibility that as a professional I will not leak. Okay, still in spite of that, a lot of leakages happen. I tell you one very interesting leakage. I was assigned a missile software testing job. Validation testing, that is functional testing of the missile software by a European country. Okay, obviously totally confidential job. I'm not supposed to tell anyone that I'm going there. Kanchana may not know, but in North India, these ladies have kitty parties. Once in a month, they will meet in some friend's home or restaurants, etc. And they will enjoy, they will have lunch together, play games, okay, or discuss for 2-3 hours and then come home. So my wife told, that was a Wednesday, my wife told her friends there in the restaurant, look, Ribu is going to such and such country. Okay. And so I may be excused because I have to go and help him in packing. Simple thing, wife is trying to help me in packing. Now, before she came home, I'm an ex-employee of Wipro. I started getting calls from Wipro. You joker, how did you get this assignment? So all I was supposed to say was, no, I'm going to Doha for conducting a 3 days training. But the information has been leaked. They knew that I'm not supposed to tell, so I'm giving some excuses. Okay. In fact, even my wife thought that I'm going to Doha, and then one day before she saw the what to call that official passport of that country and the visa in the Indian passport that I'm going to that country. So she knew. So that's why she told her friends, innocent leakage, but see the damage. Those 27 European countries may cancel. They may blacklist me because I have leaked very sensitive information. Missile technology of some countries cannot be anything more secret than that. And second repercussion may be that their intelligence agencies will come and kill me here. Next morning I was there in their country. They will kill me there itself because I'm playing with their sensitive information. It is that sensitive. So much of information. Sayyid Abbas goes and tells his wife, I'll be coming late. For next 10 days, I'll be coming late because project delivery is there. She knows such and such project, going to such and such country, such and such domain. What more you want? Okay. He is innocently telling his wife, having full faith that she will not leak. She is innocently telling someone else, having full faith that, okay, this information has nothing to do with us. So let me tell everyone.
Yeah, I think the moral is don't talk to your partner. Yeah.
Do not talk to anyone. Do not, as a professional.
Don't talk to anyone, not only partner. Yes.
Do not talk to anyone. Like for my official assignments, I don't tell my daughters, I don't tell my wife. So, and I'm expected to do that. It's not a favor I'm doing to anyone. I'm not supposed to tell them. Okay, so this information in human mind is the most challenging to control, in spite of all the other things. And this is controlled by control group 6 of ISMS. Some more benchmarks, 26% data leakage because of electronic media. You leave your hard disk drives and pen drives here and there. There's one slide here that this mobile system. In one survey, I think 2017 or 2018, the UK business leaders said mobile devices are the biggest culprits. 90% leakage happens from these devices because every day you are taking them home. They have your official mail ID, mails. So portable devices like pen drives and all that, paper files, you leave them here and there. There is a control. Clear desk and clear screen policy. No sensitive icons on your laptop screen and no sensitive papers on your desktop. It has to be kept under lock and key. So, but still, we all do that mistake. External attacks, hackers, viruses, all that. And then this is an ongoing challenge. This virus attacks, Trojans and all that. Nobody stops them. I have seen companies during audits that they knowingly send Trojans and misleading mails, phishing mails to their own employees and test their awareness, whether they are how are they reacting to this. Friends, now do one thing. In the mail I have sent you, there is a MS Word file, participants workbook. Please open that file and tell me when you opened. Participants workbook, MS Word document. Let me get a little water for me. Could you get this file? Participants workbook?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Ravi, could you please show it to everyone? Let me withdraw my screen.
Sure.
Please show this file to everyone, the first page of this file.
Yes. It says participants workbook. This is the one?
Right. So friends, is everyone having this file with them now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Please write the course registration number as C for Charlie 2630. C for Charlie 2630. Okay. The course dates as 8th April to 16th April 2026. April 8 to April 16, 2026.
Sure. It should be our city, right, Raghu?
May or may not like the city, country, all that is not relevant. In the course menu, you can write virtual. Oh, you already did. Okay, good. Now please write your name in capitals as you want it on the face of the certificate. And please don't sign. because your signatures is sensitive information. Okay, everyone has done up to this place.
Yes.
Okay, now please go to page number 3, exercise 1. Yeah. Okay. First line here is your partner's name. Do not write your partner's name. Please write your name. Partner name is meant for classroom configuration of the course, where you make partners, 2 people as partners. Here everyone will write their name. Okay, let me tell you, you need not to disclose everything here, Ravi. So role in organization, I'm not interested in your company name. If you want, you can disclose it, but I'd like to know your role in the company. That is important for us for conducting the class. Then line 3 and line 4 are very important. Your self-assessment about your knowledge of ISO 27001 clauses, clause 4 to clause 10. Okay, your own self-assessment about the clauses. So on a 5-point scale, 5 being the highest, something like 1 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5, etc., whatever you want, you can write that. Then your same thing on a 5-point scale, your knowledge about auditing, internal audit, external audit, first party, second party, third party audits, whatever you want to write. Then comes find out partner's objective, your objective of attending this course. Why do you want to attend this course? And the last one is something interesting about you, something, your hobbies, your interests, anything you like, traveling, you like playing cricket or whatever. So everyone, please, next 4 or 5 minutes, please complete this table. And you can withdraw your screen now, Ravi. Thank you. we were on this slide before we went on to exercise 1. There will be a notice to you from IRCA or from BSCIC coordinator that submit your workbooks. Workbook is the document which you have filled just now. Since you have done only one exercise, you need not to submit it. It will just be a worthless exercise. Tomorrow or day after conducting some more exercises, then I'll request you to send it to me and I'll come back to individuals with my comments. Okay. Now, so this is the hierarchy of accreditation. International accreditation. Are you seeing this slide number 22?
Yes, yes.
So IAF is at the top. Okay. IAF does not participate in direct audits. They just set guidelines and norms for auditing for various standards. Then accreditation bodies like NABCB from India, JAS, ANZ from Australia, New Zealand, which is the most popular body. And there are others also. Then there are multilateral agreements between governments, like any accreditation by any of these agencies, around 10, 15 of them. They are recognized, equally recognized all over the world. Now, then comes the certification bodies, the bodies which come to your company, my company, for conducting audits, providing audit services. So that is the hierarchy. It starts with IAF. IAF never audits. Likewise, IRCA also never audits. IRC or NABCB, they don't conduct audit. They just they are accreditation bodies. They supervise the activities of certification bodies. And then comes the third level of organization, which is certification body. These are the ones who conduct audits. All this while, ISO also doesn't conduct any audit. Their job is to keep drafting standards. Okay. They have a secretariat of 3,500 people. And their head of the secretariat, Dr. Nigel Croft, he is the head of the drafting committee. He keeps visiting India every 3.5, 4 years. Last he came was September 2022. So that time he was telling me they have drafted 3,500 few more standards by September 2022. They would have added 50, 60 more standards by now. Like in 23, the AIMS was released. That's what he was telling me. It is going to be released. Apart from this 3,500 secretariat they have for drafting standards, 2 people go for each standard from each country. There are more than 160 member countries to the secretariat. So like 2 people from India, 2 from each and every country will go there. And these people keep brainstorming for 6 to 8 years before the new standard comes. It's quite a comprehensive process. So national accreditation body, like in India, it is NABCB. It could be anyone. Not necessarily we have to follow NABCB. You can follow any of the. You can fit in any accreditation body from anywhere else, private or government. At this place, all of them are recognized by the member governments. And the second level is the certification body. And certification scheme means 27,001, 9,001, 42,001, and all that. And then companies who get certified. So this is the hierarchy. This exercise we have already done. Exercise 1. Okay, here onwards I will start tomorrow. Basically, this is about the breakup of the controls in Annex A of the standard. I'll later on send you this slide also. This slide deck. Normally I send it towards the end of the course because depending on your requirements, I may keep adding or deleting 1 or 2 slides. Okay, to make it more meaningful to you. That time I'll send it. However, the slide number 94 is having all the 93 controls. During the examination, when you are tremendously under time pressure, please go through the controls listed on slide 94. The advantage is that the control A, Annex A of the controls is running into 12 pages. rather than searching for a control. Suppose you want to, suppose say there is an audit situation saying that you are using such and such ICT tool and that tool has misbehaved and leaked information, or it was carelessness of someone. Which control you will map it to? Okay, there is a control regarding info security in ICT tools. Where will you find that control? Would you like to run through 12 pages of the standard or this slide, 94th slide? Let me show you the slide. This slide, a single slide, has all the controls.
Made us life simpler.
So you will instantly go speed. And if you have little idea about the grouping of these slides, of these controls, control group 5 is organization controls, that is management controls, 37 of them, maximum number. Then control group 6 is 8 of the people control, controlling the information in people's mind. Control group 7 is 14 of them, exercising physical security controls. Okay, which is as much important as the network security control. And then comes the technical control, and so many of them, like monitoring activities, is more of a management control. Data masking, okay, not submitting your resume as it is. Configuration management is a management control. Information deletion falls on both sides. Likewise, so SQL coding, even 15 years back, there is C++ coding from coding standards from NASA, which include security. Later on, Python standards have come. They have brought it in here also. So you can, this also falls in both the places. Cryptography is more of a management control, although it is applicable if it is applied through technology only, so on and so forth. Now, earlier standard, 2013 standard, used to have 114 controls, 114 of them. Beauty is, none of those 114 controls in the erstwhile standards have been done away with. All of them are presented in this 93 controls. They have merged certain controls, like cryptography used to be 2 controls. Control keys or cryptographic keys and establishing cryptographic controls. They have merged into one. Okay. Likewise, so they have optimized the number of controls from 114 to 93 minus 11. And they have added 11 new controls. These controls written in the green ink are the new controls. In a very natural way in the examination, since they are the new controls, you may expect more questions around the new controls. Questions will be mainly from the clauses, not from the controls. But still, you must know them. While auditing, you spend almost 40% time on controls, because actual implementation takes place by effectively implementing the controls. So these green controls you are seeing are the new controls inducted over and above the 114 old controls, which have been optimized by merging controls. That's how it goes. Now, before the exam, if you look into several times, you look into this, you'll get familiar with this, and that will help you in rather than doing Control F over 12 pages and getting confused. You can see, ICT, it is here, 5.130. 5.30 is ICT readiness for business continuity. Okay, info security for use of cloud services. I told you the heading of the standard in the beginning, I told you, has inducted now privacy protection and cloud services, cyber security. Okay. However, no clauses have been inducted for these 2 subjects. Only the controls have been inducted. That is one more reason controls are missing. Then there is a standard called ISO 27002. I'll, depending on the time, I'll open that standard and tell you how important it is and when should you refer to this standard, 27002. It is not an auditable standard. So whenever I open it, I'll let you know. Okay, so this is all for today, friends. tomorrow, just remember the clause numbers. The clause structure you have, just try to remember them. Normally, I tell for other students, I tell participants to go through clause number 8. You need not to go through clause number 8 here. Because it is very simple here. Yes, if you have time and it's not mandated, you can go through clause 6.1 risk management. Only 6.1, not 6.1 and 2 and 3. Only 6.1. If you have time. Otherwise, no hurry. You can do it day after also. Okay. I'll be traveling tomorrow, so I'll be able to start the class at 9:30 p.m., not 8:30. But don't worry, I'll not delay it till 2:30 or so. We'll finish it more or less at the same time, 12:30, between 12:30 and 1, we'll be able to finish tomorrow. Okay, so I'll start at 9:30 p.m. Okay, all the very best. Good night. Take rest.
Good night.
You will be giving 2 links. Since you are asking, let me elaborate on this. You shall be given 2 links by the IRCA local representative here in India. First one will be for practice exam session. You can open that practice exam. It will come with a login ID and password, and you can open it up to 99 times. Up to 99 times you can practice using that link. And the final exam link will be for, you can open it only once. That will come with a separate set of login ID and passwords. So each one of you will get 2 of the links. Final link has to be opened within 30 days from the last day of this course. Okay. Nobody practices for 99 times. I keep telling the people to practice it till the time you get consistently 100% 4 or 5 times. Then your confidence increases. I can do it. And then with that motivation, you can go and you will certainly pass. If you are participating in the classroom, I guarantee you will pass. And if you are not, then may God help you. Okay, so that's how it goes. So Aryan, most of the questions will be there from clauses. Okay, but see, and this out of the 93, more than half the controls can be mapped to 8.1 clause. That I'll tell you when we go to 8.1. 8.1 is operational planning and control. So these 93 controls are nothing but the operational planning and control. More than half of them can be directly mapped to 8.1. In case during the examination, if you don't get time to see which control I should map, 8.1 se kar do. Okay, you will still get some marks. Okay.
So the clauses which you have asked to just go through, वो single page वाला word document है, right? जो आपने email में भेजे हो.
It's a PDF. I'll give you a PDF.
Yeah.
I've not sent it to you. After internet for 1 or 2 days or 3 days more, then I'll take it and that time send you what maybe I keep adding slides, plus or minus side, adding or deleting. After that, I'll send you the deck.
Okay, works.
Okay. Okay, friends. Good night. See you tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. 9:30 p.m. India time. Kanchana, please remember 9:30 p.m. India time.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay then. Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Yeah.